Hello everyone, welcome to online platform of Akar Foundation. Today we are going to discuss on the notification which has been released by Union Public Service Commission for our Civil Services Examination 2026. This notification has been released on 4th of February 2026 for the preliminary examination of the service examination which is going to held on 24th of May 2026 for the post like group A post like Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Audit and Account Services, etc. The number of vacancies to be filled through the examination is 933, which include 33 vacancies reserved for persons with benchmark disability. So total number of vacancies is 933, which is a good number. After so many years, the number is so good that there are more chances. The new changes made in the notification is that they included the Pratibha Setu portal, where the information of candidate who appeared in the final stage of examination, that is interview or personality test, but not recommended, that means who are not selected for the post but has appeared for interview, will be accessible to any registered private company, public sector undertaking, statutory and autonomous organization of Government of India on the dedicated portal on the website of the commission to identify suitable candidate in line of their requirement for providing employment. Short biodata of candidates with their education qualification, contact numbers, details including their percentiles will also be made accessible to this dedicated portal. The data available on this portal shall be restricted for the purpose of evaluation of suitability of the candidate for employment purpose only to this registered organization. This will help for the employment of the candidate if they have not been selected for the post. The candidate will be required to give their consent at the time of filling the exam specific module. A candidate may opt out of the scheme also, and in that case, his or her details will not be published by the commission. If candidate does not want to go through this portal, they can also say no to the procedure for sharing their data. Okay. Now let's see what are the centers. The Center for Civil Services Preliminary Examination, there are total 83 centers all over India, and for mains there are 27 centers. Applicant should note that there will be a ceiling on the number of candidates allotted to each of the center except Chennai, Dispur, Kolkata and Nagpur. Allotment of centers will be on the first apply first allot basis, and once the candidate of a particular center is attended. Applicants who cannot get a center of their choice due to ceiling will be required to choose a center from the remaining ones. Applicants are thus advised that they may apply early so that they could get a center of their choice. If any candidate appears at a venue other than the one indicated by the commission in his or her e-admit card, such candidates will not be allowed to take the examination. That means during filling your form, you have to select the centers. There will be the ceiling. So first apply first allot basis, they will allot your center, the center. If during examination, if you visited another center rather than mentioned in e-admit card, then you are not been allowed to take the examination from that center. Now, what is the plan of examination? The civil service examination consists of two successive stages. Now let's see the plan of the examination. The civil service examination will consist of two successive stages. Civil service preliminary examination, which is of objective type for the selection of candidate for the main exam, and the civil services main examination is conducted on two bases, that is written and interview for the selection of candidate for the various services and posts noted above. A candidate who is willing to apply for civil services examination shall be required to apply online and submit the requested information and supporting documents such as date of birth, category, SC, ST, OBC, EWS, PWBD, ex-servicemen, education qualification and service preferences. The failure to provide the required information or document and along with the universal registration number, profile, and a common application for will entitle cancellation of candidatures from the examination. So the basic information you have to fill during the by filling the application form. The candidate should also note that no additional or deletion or any changes are allowed in the online application form in circumstances once it is submitted. After submission of form, you cannot change the data. Okay. The commission shall provide a window of 10 days after the declaration of results of civil service preliminary examination. All the candidates qualified for civil services main examination will have to mandatorily log into the portal using upsconline.nic.in during this window and update and or reconfirmation their details and submit the application form to enable the commission to generate e-admit card, failing which such candidate will not be allowed to participate in the further stage of examination. The candidates who are required to pay fees shall have to pay fees during this window. This means this procedure of applying for uh, application for it is for only preliminary stage. After the result out of the prelims, you have to fill the form for the mains examination also. The window is open for 10 days and the commission shall also provide a windows of 15 days after the declaration of the result of written parts of civil services main examination to the candidate qualified for personality test or interview. And another once more the window will open for 15 days once the mains year result is out to the for the candidates who have qualified for the mains and are eligible for interview. They you have to fill the form, that is detailed application form for the personality test also. All the candidates who qualified for the personality test are mandatorily required to fill or update the requested field, that is details of education qualification status, along with proof of passing the requested qualification examination and upload the relevant document as proof of their claim, failing which his or her candidature shall stand cancelled and no correspondence will be entertained by the commission in this regard. The candidate are required to update the correspondence of permanent postal address, higher education qualification, achievement in different fields, employment details or service experience, details of the service allocated on the basis of earlier or previous civil services examination, marital status, PWBD recommendation, details in past parental details. Okay. The candidate shall be required to mandatorily indicate order of preferences only for those services which are participating in the civil service examination 2026. So you during filling of application form, you have to choose the preferences for the of the services. Now let's see the eligibility condition. Nationality for the Indian Administrative Service, Indian Forest Service and the Indian Police Service. A candidate must be a citizen of India, and for other services, a candidate must be either a citizen of India or Nepal, Bhutan, or a Tibetan refugee who came over to India before 1st January 1962 with the intention of permanently settling in India, or a person of Indian origin who has migrated from Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, East African countries of Kenya, Uganda, the United Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, Malawi, Zaire, Ethiopia, and Vietnam. with the intention of permanently settling in India. Now, what is the age limit criteria? A candidate must attain the age of 21 years and must not have attained the age of 32 years on the 1st of August 2026. That is, the candidate must have been born not earlier than 2nd August 1994 and not later than 1st August 2005. There is an relaxation in upper age limit, a maximum of 5 years for a candidate belonging to a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribes, maximum of 3 years in case of candidate belonging to other backward classes who are eligible to enroll of reservation application to such candidate, a maximum of 3 years in case of defense service personnel, a maximum of 5 years in case of ex-servicemen, including commissioned officer and emergency commissioned officer, that is ECOs, short service commission officer, SSCOs, who have rendered at least 5 years military service as on the 1st August 2026 and have been released on completion of assignments on account of physical disability attributable to military service or on invalidment, and a maximum of 5 years in case of ECO or SSCOs who have completed an initial period of assignments of 5 years of military service as on 1st August 2026 and whose assignments has been extended beyond 5 years. In those case, the military in whose case the Ministry of Defense issues a certificate that they can apply for civil employment and that they will be released on 3 months notice, and a maximum of 10 years in case of candidate belonging to person with benchmark disability. Candidate belonging to either the SC or ST or the OBC candidate who are also covered under those coming under the category of ex-servicemen or PWBD will be eligible to grant of cumulative age relaxation under both categories. The minimum education qualification is a candidate must hold a graduate degree of any of the university. Now let's see the eligibility criteria for the number of attempts. Number of attempts, every candidate appearing at the examination who is otherwise eligible shall be permitted 6 attempts at the CSE. However, relaxation in the number of attempts will be available to the SC, ST, OBC and PWBD category candidates who are otherwise eligible. So for SC or ST category candidates, the number of attempts is unlimited. For OBC 9 and for PWBD 9 for general, EWS and OBC, and unlimited for SC and ST category candidates. The major changes is made is that there is a restriction for applying the examination of the selected candidates. So let's see these points in detail. A candidate who is appointed to the Indian Administrative Service or the Indian Foreign Service based on the result of an earlier examination and continue to be the member of that service will not be eligible to appear at the Civil Services Examination 2026. It is just as before. Same, the IS or IFS officers are not eligible to take the re-exam or appear for this examination. In case such candidate is appointed to the IS or IFS after the Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2026 is over and the candidate continue to be a member of that service, the candidate shall not be eligible to appear in the Civil Services Mains Examination 2026. A candidate is appointed to the IS or IFS after the commencement of the Civil Service Mains Examination 2026, but before the result thereof is declared by the Commission and continue to be the member of that services, the candidate shall not be considered for appointment to any services or post on the basis of result of the CSE 2026. It is same as before that the officer who is already in the post of IS and IFS, they are not eligible to take the re-exam. Okay, reattempt their chance. Okay, but the major change is here. A candidate who has been selected or appointed to the Indian Police Service on the basis of the result of the earlier examination shall not be eligible to opt for or allocate to Indian Police Services on the basis of the result of CSE 2026. Now, a candidate allocated to the Indian Police Service or a Central Services Group A on the basis of result of CSE 2026 will have the option to appear in immediate subsequent CSE 2027 if otherwise eligible subject to the following restrictions. Okay. This means the IPS or a Group A service officers are able to appear or to give their attempt next after 1 year, that is in 2027 only they can appear. It is the restriction. If for example, if a candidate has been selected in his second attempt as IPS officer, so he will be able to take or give the attempt in 2027, but as he is having the 4 attempts left, one attempt he can give for 2027, but after that he is not eligible. If he want to appear for 2028 examination, then he has to resign from the post and then appear for that examination. So while selecting the preferences for the services, you have to be so thoughtful which service you want to choose, as they included the restrictions on the selected candidate for re-attempting for their exam, for this exam. So it will be a good point and helpful for the new generations or new students to, as the competition will get placed. So it is a good point, but the situation is that they are while selecting the preferences of service, you have to choose wisely. Such a candidate shall be eligible to appear for the CSE 2027 if he or she is granted exemption from the training for the service allocated to him or her on the basis of CSE 2026 from the authority concerned. He or she will be eligible for grant of one-time exemption only from joining the training in order to enable him or her to appear in CSE 2027. That means you have only one attempt left after you have been selected for this post, that is IPS or other Central Services Group A services. You have only one chance, rather than if you have multiple attempts left, still you can give on the attempt for one time only, that is on 2027. After that, if you are choose to give your attempt, you have to resign from that service. The selected candidate shall join the training in foundation course only. However, if such a candidate neither join the training for the service allocated on the basis of CSE 2026, nor takes exemption from joining training, his or her allocation of service on the basis of CSE 2026 shall stand cancelled. If he or she is finally recommended on the basis of CSE 2027, he or she can accept the service allocated either on the basis of CSE 2026 or CSE 2027 and will join the training schedule for the CSE 2077. If a candidate who has appeared for 2026 examination and also given the exam for 2027, and in both the cases he got selected, then he has the choice to select one of the post which has been provided. So it can so he can select one post either based on 2026 or based on 2027. Okay. If he or she doesn't join training for service allocated on the basis of CSE 2026 or CSE 2027, his or her allocation in both the service shall stand cancelled. If he doesn't join the training service on the basis of 2026 or 2027, then his selection will get cancelled. In the respect of the candidate who has been allocated to any service based on CSE 2025 or earlier, he or she will be given a one-time opportunity to appear in either CSE 2026 or CSE 2027 as per his or her choice to enable him or her to utilize his or her remaining attempts. is subject to fulfilling other eligibility criteria without the need to resign from service. However, such candidate desirous of appearing in CSE 2025 8 or beyond, he or she shall have to resign from his or her allocated service. This point means that the candidate who has been selected from 2025 attempt or previous year examination, they have one opportunity to give the exam on 2026 or 2027. But after 2027, if he want to utilize his attempt for this examination, he has to give resignation from the post and then appear for the exam in 2028. So this is the good step by the UPSC, as they put the restrictions on the attempts of the candidates, of the selected candidates. Now, the medical and physical standard: candidate must be physically fit according to physical standards for admission to civil services examination 2026 as per guideline given in appendix of rules for examination published in the Gazette of India, an extraordinary dated on 4th of February 2026. Fees: all the candidates except female or SC, ST, person with benchmark disability candidates are required to pay fees of rupees 100 using net banking facility or UPI for appearing in the civil services preliminary examination 2026, and the candidates admitted to the civil services mains examination 2026 will be required to pay a further fees of rupees 200 except SC, ST, PWBD or women from a window of 10 days to be provided after declaration of result of civil services preliminary examination. Okay. So for preliminary examination, fees is 100 rupees, and when after the result of prelims examination, there will be the window of 10 days where you have to fill the form for civil services mains examination, where you have to pay the fees of 200 rupees. So now let's see how to apply. You can apply for this examination through by using the website upsconline.nic.in. A candidate who is willing to apply for civil services examination shall be required to submit the requisite information and supporting document towards various claims such as date of birth, education qualification, as may be sought by the commission, along with the universal registration number, common application form, and the fourth module, that is exam specification modules. A commission provides a one-time facility for candidate to update or modify their universal registration number profile. Okay. Now they have mentioned the authenticity of your face, like by live photo capturing for filling up of common application form. That means applicants are required to upload their photograph and also capture their live photograph while filling of the common application form. Applicants must ensure that the uploaded photo and the live captured photograph is clear as per the instruction. Applicants are required to sign 3 times on a plain white paper using a black ink and upload the same while filling up the common application form. The uploaded signature should be clear and legible. A candidate will not be allowed to withdraw their application after the submission of the same. All candidates, either whether already in government service, government owned industry or undertaking, or other similar organization, or in private employment, should submit their application direct to the commission. They required to submit an undertaking that they have informed in writing to their head office that they have applied for the examination. Candidates should note that in case a communication is received from their employer by the commission withholding permission to the candidates applying for or appearing at the examination, their application will be liable to be rejected or candidature will be liable to be cancelled. Okay. Candidate applying for civil services examination 2026 will be required to indicate information such as detail of centers for civil services mains examination and Indian Foreign Service mains examination, optional subject to be selected for the examination, medium of examination, Medium of examination for optional subject if he or she chooses any Indian language as the medium of examination for civil services main examination, and compulsory Indian language for civil services means examination. At the time of filling up exam specific form itself. No request for changes in these details once exam specific form is submitted shall be entertained by the commission. A candidates applying for the civil services examination should ensure that they fulfill all the eligibility condition for admission to examination. Admission at all the stages of examination for which they are admitted by the commission, that is civil services preliminary examination, means examination, either written or a interview, will be purely provisional, subject to either satisfying the prescribed eligibility condition. If on verification at any time before or after the preliminary examination, means examination and interview, it is found that they do not fulfill any of the eligibility condition, their candidatures for the examination will be cancelled by the commission. Okay, the last date for submission of application is 24th of February 2026 till 6 p.m. Okay. Now, eligibility for availing reservation. A candidate will be eligible to get the benefit of community reservation only in case the particular caste to which the candidate belongs is included in the list of reserved community issued by the central government. That is, caste certificate must be issued from the central government. A OBC candidate applying for CSE 2026 must produce OBC non-criminal year certificate based on the income for the financial year 2022 to 2023, 2023 to 2024, and 2024 to 2025. That is last 3 years, and issued on or after 1st of April 2025, but not later than the closing date of the submission of application form for civil services examination 2026, that is 24th of February 2026. A candidate will be eligible to get the benefit of the economically weaker section reservation only in the case the candidate meets the criteria issued by the central government and is in possession of requisite income and asset certificate based on income for financial year 2024-2025 and issued on or after 1st of April 2025 after the completion of financial year 2024-2025, but not later than the closing date of the submission of application form for civil services examination 2026, that is 24th of February 2026. So all the best for the candidates. Start applying your application form for UPSC CSE examination 2026 till 24th of Feb. You can fill the form. So make sure that you are having all the documents which are required before filling the form and start applying. So thank you.